Welcome back, guys. So as part of the work on getting the Z32 ready for paint, I'm currently working on the doors, and the plan was to get the doors off, tidy up a few things with them. One of them being there was a couple of issues with some dodgy work that was done when this thing went through compliance here in Australia, but that's all in another video. You may have seen it, maybe not, but currently what I'm focused on doing is getting the glass out to achieve two things. Firstly, it'll make the doors a lot lighter to be carting around when they're going in and out of the spray booth, getting paint and all that sort of stuff. Plus it's a good opportunity to replace the glass rollers. So this is currently the door that I'm working on here. That one there has already had the glass removed, so it's onto this guy. The only preemptive thing I've done so far on this is I have removed the rubber, which goes right around the doors on these things. There, all the way around and into this side. This section here where the rear vision mirror is the only bit that you probably need to remove the rubber. I'm not even 100% sure if you actually need to do that, but it just kind of goes down into the door there. There are a couple of clips on the rubber that you can access through the mirror hole on the back here. Mine didn't actually have them. I'd say someone's taken them off before, so it was actually quite easy. It just sort of pulled up on this side and then unwrapped around, just releasing all the clips as you kind of go. There's also a plastic piece on here that needs to be removed. There's just 3 push pins in that underneath that you just pop those through, and there's another little push clip that goes down through this section here. That all comes apart pretty easy. There's quite a bit of stuff on how to get that section apart online and on YouTube, but what I'm focusing on is just getting the glass out from this point. So the glass comes out of these things actually pretty easily. At this point there's only a couple of things stopping it. There are 2 stoppers that work to stop the glass shooting out. One of them is here, and the other one is under there. That guy there, you can sort of see him there. I've got the window up a little bit because I was frigging around with it. That's the first one we sort of looked at. So that's the first thing we've got to do, is get those out. They're quite simple to remove. They're just a 10mm bolt, access through here like so. That's our first one. Very, very easy to remove. And there's second one over here. Even a one-handed man can remove them. They're that easy. Alright, so that's our stops. So the next thing we've got to do is get the glass up so that we can unbolt it from the regulator. Now, there are only 2 nuts to do that as well, and we have to move the glass up into a position where we can expose those nuts. And as embarrassing as that may be, sometimes you do have to expose your nuts. So one of them will appear in this hole down through here. So we'll just pull the plastic back in that position, get to that nut, and the other one will pop up over here. So what I'll do, I've got a battery down here hooked up to the wiring loom. So I'll just quickly pop the glass up, and I'll show you where these nuts appear. Alrighty, our glass is now up roughly where we need it to be. This is one of the nuts here that comes up from the regulator that's holding the bottom of the glass. That's the stop there that would have bumped into our stop, which was here. So you can see why we needed to get that out of the way, because that would just hit the stop. And then down through our little round hole where I've pulled the plastic back. We look in there, there's our nut right there. You can just make it out. So what I will do now is undo those, and then the glass is free. Then we can just pull the glass straight out. Alright, so we'll get this guy first. Go there. I might have to fish these out later because I'm filming. I'm working as a one-armed man. Right, now this guy here. So obviously what you've got to do here, you've got to lift this up off the bolt. Just kind of pull your window up a little bit so it doesn't get in the way. This one here, same deal really. Have to get my hand in under the door to do that, guys. Alright, that's that one off. I think they're both now off. I didn't fall back on. Yep. Alright, should be able to just pull that out, I reckon. And that's it, guys. It is that easy. Alright, we'll take this to the bench and we'll have a bit of a look at it. Alright, well, it doesn't appear that there's anything wrong with the rollers on this class. I didn't think there particularly was, but it's all looking a little bit nasty. If you look at this this front roller, like, even though it still functions and everything, this is this actually incorporates the front stop on this roller, and you can see it's quite rusty and kind of crap looking. Our bottom roller on the back side here, again, you know, it's working, it's still there, but it's looking a bit sort of nasty. And then the main one that seems to go, our top roller, again, it's looking a little bit worse for wear, but it is actually still functioning. So all those are going to be replaced, and I think we've got some other bits and pieces as well. This stop here, I think we can pull that off, and all the plastic discs that go under it and behind it and everything. I think I have all those as well. That's my bag and bits and pieces for this window. I bought all these things individually from Nissan, and I'll show you what they are as I get them out, I guess. Alright, I'll just put the camera down, set it up on a tripod, I think, so I can work properly without trying to do everything with one hand. Alright, be back in a second. Alright guys, I've just sort of given everything a bit of a clean while you were gone, and sort of laid out some of the bits and pieces that we're going to be using here. So what I'm going to do is start with the front corner one, which also has the stop incorporated into it. So that is this guy here. First thing we've got to do is, there is a cap on this. You have to get the cap off to expose the Phillips head screw that is underneath of that. Okay, so as you can see, she's coming off, and there you go, the cap's off, Phillips head screw exposed. Now we're probably going to be able to just unscrew this, and it should come out without spinning the piece on the back, so we won't have to worry about trying to hold that at this stage. There we go, as I thought. And that is that roller off. And what we have here now is the stop. And what we have here is our new stop. Slightly different to the old one. This has changed the design a little bit over the years. Just this, the actual stop part here with a bit of rubber on it. It's a very small piece on the original, and they just made it go all the way across. So it's, yeah, it's the same thing. It just goes all the way across. It's a bit rusty looking. The one on the other side was exactly the same. So yeah, that's our replacement guy right there. So we'll start setting these out as we go. Your door stopper there, that's who that guy is. Stopper, window, door, 80328-30P01. So the next thing we've got to do is separate this here. And I'm just using a pair of circlip pliers to do this, guys, just on the, you know, the holes that are in here. There's actually, I think there might be a Phillips head screw underneath. Actually, there is. So I'll just stick a Phillips head up underneath this. Sort of working with my arm through the tripod here, guys, so it might be a little bit dicey. Otherwise, this will spin when you go to undo it. So Phillips head on the bottom, this guy on the top, and away we go. So I'm just undoing the screw now because that sort of turned against the glass. They are a separate piece, so the rust is probably holding together. I just don't want to force it and you know, end up shattering the glass or anything like that. So normally you should be able to just, you know, turn this ring on the top, and you know, it should undo that way. But so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to lay these out in order so we don't bugger anything up here on our reassembly. Okay, so we'll keep our new stuff over here. Alright, so we've got that guy, and if we go underneath, that's what we have there. So that's the Phillips head that I was talking about in the bottom of that guy. So the layout on these, that underside of this is another one. That's more of a sort of a softy rubber one. Actually, the other one I don't think had that on it. Anyway, I'm not sure if I actually have that. Oh, I probably do. And this guy here, which, as I say, this should be separate from this. I'm sure it's just kind of rusted together. Oh, there we go. That's what it was. It's just friggin' rusted together. So that's that and that. So that's our layout right there, guys. So what I'll do while I've got this apart, I'll just clean this bit of rust off the glass with a razor blade, just because it's real easy to get to now. Clean that whole area up. Just to make it a little bit easier, so we're not struggling to clean around our new bit. Okay, so now let's lay out our components. So we're reusing these. There's no need to replace those unless you absolutely have to. I haven't come across any of these that are really too corroded, or seen any that are too corroded. So we'll just start putting our pieces over the top. So this guy here, guys, that was sort of stuck on the top, that's our nut that locks down. That's this guy here. 80391-30P01. Get that out of the packet there. We'll sit that above that one. Now this guy here, that's it there. 80390-30P01. There. Now, I don't know what to go with this one is. I'm sure there were just two of these on the other side. Really not sure what's going on there. I might put this back so it's all right. But I'm sure in the when I ordered these, it just said, you know, two of those. See, what I'll do, I'll have a little bit of a quick fiddle and see what it goes back together like with two of these. Yes, because they are very, very thin. This one's more rubbery though. These are more plasticky, but geez, there's almost no difference between them. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. That guy goes on like that, up from the bottom, and that's the way they had it, with that thing on there. But I don't like that. I think I prefer to put one of these on there. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to use their one, or so as I say, on the parts breakdown it shows two of these. And that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so that's that one on. Now our nice new Bisso on the top there. our nice new nut. And that. All just goes on like that. We'll just nip this up. Just nice and snug. Your Phillips head in underneath. That's that, guys. That's just nice and tight and firm. That gets all that stuff out of the way. Now what we've got to do is match this roller up. So it ain't that one, which means it's got to be this one. Yep, that looks like the guy. So there you go, slider, door, window, 80334-30P01. This guy right here. And what I'll do with this one, which I'm going to do with all the rollers, is I'll put a little tiny dab of blue Loctite just on that little bit of thread there that this goes onto, just so there's no chance of it coming loose, because we don't do these up super tight, and a bit of Loctite's always a good thing. Blue Loctite, you know, it's really not hard to get off. You don't need heat or anything like that. It just makes it a bit gummy, and it's really just stops things coming loose. So just nice and tight. Clean up that little bit of Loctite around the bottom of that. And all we've got to do is throw a new cap on it. So these are your caps. That's not a real good number, is it? I had another packet that with caps in it that I think had a better part number on it, but you can see what that is, JA951-AU07. I don't think that's a real part number. They have all sorts of weird part numbers on things sometimes. Just went looking through the trash and found the other one. The bag's got exactly the same numbers on it. 3 to a bag. That's a window set, so that's those guys there. I'll just rip a hole in the corner, get one of them out. And they just clip onto there like so. Done. There you go. That's that corner done and dusted. So we've gone from that to this piece of beauty. Alright, so let's go to the lower rear roller. It's this guy here. There's a Phillips head underneath, which I'm not going to use now. I'm just sort of showing you. But buried under all this schmoo is another cap, which we have to get off. It's coming. There we go. There's our Phillips head screw. Now I should probably be able to get this. Oh no, it wants to turn. Alright. Phillips head on the bottom. Phillips head on the top. Alright. This one does not want to play. She's tight. She's very tight. It's not often I say that. Right guys, I'm going to move you out of the way for this. I need the access myself. Alright, there you go. You guys can just sit there until I get this out. It's all a challenge, guys. It's all just a bloody challenge. Alright. Back to plan A. That is that. Again, we'll undo this. Our nut, our big flat nut. Phillips head on the bottom. Circular pliers. You can use needle nose pliers, long nose pliers for this as well. You just sort of operating overhead instead of off to the side. I'm working right around the tripod. Alright, it's unscrewing nicely. Alright, here we go. We got that. We've got that. We've got these. And as I say, see that one, guys, on the top like the other one, it's not one of those sort of rubbery things, it's one of these. So, yeah, I don't know, but this is a smaller one. So let's get all these dug out and set up ready to go. So this is our nut again, this guy here. Obviously you don't have to change these, but they all start looking a little bit sad. Good to get rid of them. Again, the nut. There's the part number, 8309130P01. That guy. Now our small plastic washer that goes on the back of that fella there. This is it here. 80390-30P11. Yes, that was my phone, not yours. And that's that one there. And of course our black thing over here, this guy, same as before, 80390-30P01, and our roller. So again, they all are different lengths. That one matches up to that, and it is 80334-30 That's the one. Okie doke. So this guy on the bottom, all these little washers have a raised section that goes up towards the glass and sits in the hole, stop everything slopping around, you know. So obviously that goes on there, sits there real nice. Up in through the back of the glass. Get one of these on there, again sits in through the glass. This time that little raised section goes down, meets the other one, and as I say, that just keeps it all nice and centered in the hole of the glass. Throw a nut on the top. Tighten him up. Alright, nice and snug. Now, ready for our roller. Again, little tiny dab of Loctite on the thread there. Yes. Go straight on. Like that. Snip it up nice and tight. Phillips head in the bottom, one on the top. Clean off the excess Loctite around the bottom. Cap. And that's the second one done. Out with the old, in with the new. Now while I'm at it, guys, and this isn't necessarily something that you have to do, but it looks like I've ordered new plastic bushings for this stop as well, so I might as well do them while I'm here. It's completely unnecessary, but you know, I've got them, so I'm either going to chuck them in the bin or use them. And we're all set up, so I might as well use them. So yeah, hook on the bottom with your bizzos. It is a little bit awkward. The main thing that's making it awkward is the camera, so I'm going to have to move it, guys. We'll just put ourselves over here, just to give me a little bit of room. Oh, that's tight. There we go. Now we're cooking. Alright, the stop. So, as you can see from this, it's just the stop with a screw in it. Plastic bush on the bottom. Plastic bush and the nut. So that's our order, and you can see the screw that's used in it has Loctite on it from the factory, which is why it was a little bit tricky to get undone. So these are the new plastic bushes for that guy. There's a number on them, JA951-AU07. Again, they just have a raised piece on one side, which just meets either side of the glass, you know. So, this guy off the bottom, with the raised bit facing upwards, goes up under there. Does it need cleaning up? Nah, that's alright. Guy on there. New washer on there. That over the top. Yeah, that'd work well if I had an extra hand. So how about I just get some Loctite on this before I start doing that, eh? Good one, Trevor. You friggin' goose. Alright, that's loaded. So we can hold that in one hand, and we can set this up from underneath with the other. Put that down on there, and that won't work because my fat fingers won't fit in there. But, oh, got it through. And there is a little bit of slack around all these things, you know. Being that it is going to be copping all its force that way, I will shove it in the sort of downward position so that it doesn't shift once it's in. Alright, we'll nip that up. And we're good to go. That's that done. In the bin for these guys. Now, the best for last. This one up here. These can be a little bit of a bugger, because the where the bolt comes through the other side, it's a nice smooth thing that you see from the outside of the glass, which you're probably familiar with, guys. There's no way to hold that, so that if this spins without coming loose, you're kind of screwed. Well, you're not screwed, it just means that you can't replace this lock washer on there, which doesn't really need replacing anyway. But we will see. Again, go through the goop, get this cap off. There's the baby there. I'll just unscrew. There's that guy. Again, still functioning, but looking pretty worse for wear. The plastic's gone very brown. I'd say it would only be a matter of time before this just kind of breaks and falls to pieces. I imagine it's quite brittle by now. This is our replacement. 80332 46 POO poo. Alright. Is this one going to undo? You don't have any way to hold it on the other side. It may not be any good. This is what happens. I'll start to turn. And then it will jam up. Yeah. And you can't literally hold it with your fingers to get it off on the other side. It is a bit of a tricky thing. Come on. Because there is a plastic washer under the bolt, you know, which just makes it want to spin. Yeah, no. That's alright. Had the same issue on the other side. I even tried setting up a jam nut on it. A little tiny jam nut, and winding it up till it was up against the jam nut, thinking it would come loose, but it actually didn't. So what I will do with this is I will tighten that back down, which I may have to break the jam nut out for. Yeah, I literally can't stop it from spinning. Yeah, little tiny nut that I ground down to give me as much room as possible. Shaft off the old roller. Alright, we'll lock these two together. should be able to just do that back up. Doesn't feel like that is. Yeah. This needs to be on the bottom, not on there, otherwise that's going to make it undo. Good one, Trevor. Alright. That in there. I'll do that up there. There we go, that's working. Alright, she's getting back to being tight. Not a lot of room to work doing this. Get on there. Alright, I think that's it. Now, where were we? That's right. I'm about to put this guy on. And I'll throw a tiny dab of Loctite on that. Just because. And on she goes. And there it is, guys. That's how you replace all the rollers and stuff. So what I will do now is I'll give this a really good clean, wrap it all up in bubble wrap, throw it up on the shelf so that it's all ready to go back in when it comes time for installation. Oh, the only thing I didn't do, just remembered, I didn't put a cap on that. Ha! Nearly forgot. Alright, yeah, so if you're at this stage and you just want to put it back in the window, obviously it's exactly the opposite of how we got it out. Slide it in, put nuts on these two here, pull the thing down, fit the stops back on the door, and Bob's your uncle, everything should be back where it was before. I will probably do a video at some point after the car's painted, putting these back in, but for now, that's all there is. So thanks for stopping by the Aussie Shed, guys. Always a bloody pleasure to have you here with me, etc, etc. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because it helps me with the algorithm. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. One more thing, just quickly, guys. I just pulled the tracks out of this door here that those nice new glass runners are going to go into. And these were caked up very, very heavily with very hard, crusty, dried out, dirt-infused grease. Very lumpy, and like I say, very, very hard, to the point that I had to dig it out with a screwdriver in some areas. So I would suggest to anyone, if you are changing the rollers in your glass, to pull these tracks out and clean them, because you will have your nice new rollers running in these dirty, filthy tracks. And the lumps and bumps and all the hard crap in there would definitely upset the window as it was going up and down, I would assume. It certainly wouldn't make it as smooth as it will be when these are all cleaned out. So I would highly suggest removing these and cleaning them. Alright, that's it. Thank you.